Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back. Force here. It is time yet again for some more SC2 commentary. Today we'll be watching a series of games between Nerchio and whynoT. We are on the map Dual Site. Starting off in the right-hand spawn location, we have got our pink Protoss player whynoT. He is currently rank 8 in his Masters Division in the European region, rank number 324. He has got 223 wins, 219 losses, with a 50.45% win ratio. His opponent, our red Zerg player over here in the left-hand spawn position, is of course Nerchio. He is currently the rank 6 Grandmaster on the European ladder. Very, very strong Zerg player with 264 wins and 76 losses, giving him a 77.65% win ratio. Out of the two, based on their ladder experience so far this season, Nerchio seems to be certainly a much stronger player. Nerchio, obviously, a much more well-known player. However, any given day of StarCraft, you never know what's going to happen. Did I almost just make a football reference? Yes, any given Sunday. Well, with StarCraft, you can say any given day. No, it really doesn't matter. You can be one of the strongest players. People of comparable skill, Masters and Grandmasters players, do have an opportunity to beat you. And just make sure you watch your butt. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. What am I talking about? Good luck, have fun even, says whynoT. Let's see if Nerchio responds. Is he going to be good-mannered, or is he too focused on the game? It's not even bad manners. Maybe he's just crazy focused on his drone scout moving out. Back at home, Nerchio does have his spawning pool and extractor coming on through. We'll be opening up with that one base play. Wants to avoid any possible harass here from whynoT. As we can see, though, whynoT has not even bothered pushing out to scout yet, delaying this very, very much. Now, it does appear like he will be going a one gateway into expand, having a pylon at the low ground, just to make sure he can see what's going on and prepare for that expansion as well. Now, pylon there, unfortunately, making him go a little bit of a roundabout way there. That's actually really bad, that pylon placement. I ignored you, actually, said Nerchio. Oh, man. How rude. No, just kidding. Nerchio right now has 2 lings coming out, 1 queen as well. We'll be seeing that expansion very soon. We got 4 lings coming out now, actually. Now, one thing to note, too, is that there is not a full wall off here. So these early lings can be effective. Very interesting building placement. I'm a little perplexed right now, actually, as to what whynoT exactly plans on doing. Now, I'm still going to expect what I stated. I'm still going to expect a 1 gate expand here, but I don't know. This placement's making him very vulnerable to early game harass, and that's exactly what we are going to be seeing happening. Now, there's that expansion coming on through. We're going to have those 4 lings marching their way across the map right now, and they will be harassing here. No question about that. Now, we have a stalker coming through, and actually, once that's in play, the lings aren't going to be nearly as effective. So I'm assuming that he's just not too worried about the little amount of time that these are actually going to be here to do any damage. You can see that stalker's just about finished, so it really doesn't even matter. Now, those lings are actually going to do some pretty significant damage there. They're going to work that pylon down past its shields and continue to do damage. And oh my gosh, yes, he really is. He's going to stay in there with those lings and kill a pylon. Wow. Really, really rough there for whynoT. And why is that? That Cybernetics Core research just not happening. Kills off the pylon. That's why you wall off. Again, that building placement, that early on building placement by whynoT, I am confused. Why did he do that? Maybe he just said, why not? Oh, funny jokes. Not really. That really actually sucks quite a bit for whynoT. And I'm a little concerned for him. Not only that, but he is also supply blocked. And it's going to be a little while until that actually gets alleviated there with that additional pylon. Really dropping the ball. Terrible opening for whynoT. Nerchio is set up for success here already. Let's see what he's got coming on through. He's got another queen coming out. That will be queen number trace, or is that number 2? That will be number 2. He has only had 1 queen so far. It will just be queen number 2 there, and that queen will be staying up in the main to do some inject larva. We'll have to wait and see if we get another queen after that. Now, metabolic boost is now finished here, and we've got a ton of lings coming out. So we're going to be seeing a push here from those speed lings, and let's see how whynoT is able to defend himself back at home. He's got 2 cannons coming out through, just now finished a forge there. He has completed this wall off right here, so those lings aren't going to be able to bust through this or anything like that, but they can still harass from this side. He's just going to rely on the stalkers and sentries to try to prevent that from being that effective. But here we go, Nerchio pulling on in right now with a mass amount of speed lings, also moving out to take a third. Nice force field placement, prevent those lings from getting too close, and actually drop in a very beautiful pylon placement there, as he's going to make sure that this stalker and sentry army does not get surrounded, but those lings already doing some pretty significant damage, killing off a total of 7 workers so far this game. Nerchio is pretty significantly ahead. Really concerned here for whynoT. That opener kills me. It seems so unnecessary. That was very unnecessary for him to open that way. I think he wanted this building down here so they could get that wall up quicker, and he was just maybe hoping that Nerchio wasn't going to hit. But taking out that pylon, delaying that warp gate research, and you can see warp gates now just coming through. He just does have that one gateway right now as well, simply because he went out with this forge and these level 1 upgrades. So he is really focused on the mid game right now, or at least the late early game to early mid game, if that's what you want to call it. Now back at home, Nerchio is just macroing up like crazy. Roach Warren coming on through. He's got some spores just in case he needs that cloak detection against any observers, or maybe even some crazy DT harass. Most likely he's just waiting for observers though. We also have that layer coming through that's about halfway done. No upgrades at all here in terms of damage or armor. He's just macroing in the sense that he's got this expansion coming out. He's now finally getting armor upgrade. There it is. Armor upgrade is coming on through. And we got another queen coming out as well. That'll be used to take over here at the natural expansion, as this queen that was at the natural is now moving on into that third. Back over here for whynoT. What does he have going on? Well, 2 more gateways getting placed down right now. Back over here in the main, there's a robo coming through as well. So at that point, he'll be sitting on 3-gate robo. He does have that level 1 weapons upgrade almost finished. I don't think he'll be pushing out with that. He might go straight for armor, and then at that point, he'll be pushing out with a 1-1 upgrade. I think that if anything's going to come from him in the early mid stage of the game, that it is going to be that style of push. He just doesn't have the gateways necessary to push out at this point with just the level 1 weapons upgrade. So he'll just be chilling out for a while longer. Don't expect to see too much from whynoT anytime soon. Macro commences over here for Nerchio as he is now getting this nice and saturated over here at the third. He's also got some nice upgrades coming out. Level 1 armor coming on through. Glile Reconstitution, which is of course going to be that roach speed, is coming out. And just massing up drones. You can see 10 more drones coming through right now, and I'm probably assuming most of those are going to be hitting on over at this third expansion. A few lings moving across the map. We'll be checking for a third base, and then besides that, not too much else doing. We got a Spire coming through as well for Nerchio. whynoT's coming out with some Immortals. There's that armor upgrade that we expected. And again, I think if anything is going to come from him anytime soon, it will be this 1-1 push, and we'll have to wait and see once that level 1 armor upgrade does finish, if he decides to move out with it. Again, so far, quite a bit behind here, and I am, again, really concerned for whynoT. In terms of resource loss, they are equal, but losing those 8 workers early on, plus that delay in cyber, because the delayed cyber core also means that he wasn't able to get units out as early on. He wasn't able to start warping in as early on, and he was delayed on that warp in cycle. We will be seeing a push right now from whynoT though, and let's see if this turns out to be successful at all. At Spire just about finished, and with that we will be seeing some Mutalisk. That can make for some very effective counter harass there from Nerchio. But whynoT, he is getting ready to push out. We do see that probe in the mix, and that's going to be allowing him to drop down a proxy pylon when he does decide to eventually push here. Now Nerchio will be fully aware as he does have control of both these towers here, so he will know that this push is coming. Also pulling on forward with those links, he spots it as it moves on through, trying to actually go for a counterattack, unable to do so though. I think there's even a full wall off here. Okay, there's just one space. He's going to chill a Zealot out right there to prevent any link counterattacks from being effective at all. Plus, he's got that cannon there. Very nice defense against link counterattacks. He needs to be careful, though, because the longer he waits, the worse off he's going to be, as 9 mutas are coming on through. We got a few roaches moving out here to intercept this force, and yeah, Nerchio is very prepared to counterattack here. Here comes the push across the map. Nerchio, it does see it there with that tower control from that ling, and the counterattack commences here. Push on forward with those roaches and speedlings, and whynoT's just going to be forced back. This is really unfortunate play that we're seeing here. Kind of sloppy from whynoT. He's pushing out. He's not dealing with his forces here that are quite clearly going to be going for a counterattack. Nice force field walls though, getting some extra damage and not actually killing a roach there, but weakening up quite a bit. And here comes the Muta harass. Muta's now moving into the main. whynoT is going to all of a sudden be taking significant damage, and he is still just kind of dancing around with his forces in the center of the map, not committing to anything, not doing any damage to Nerchio at all, and taking massive damage himself. He's prepared now for a aggressive attack here. All these workers are going to be dying in just a few seconds. We got 6 more mutas just finishing now for Nerchio, so that's going to join the fun. Here comes the push. whynoT? If he's going to do anything, it has to be now. His main base is pretty much gone. He's got a few stalkers coming on through to try to help deal with those mutas. Pushing on forward. Speedlings get us around. Nice force field. It's actually doing pretty significant damage, but we got 16 lings about to pop to him. I'm not sure how long whynoT is going to be able to continue this here. He's able to force back those mutas. He's already lost a ton of workers back home, 39 workers. His income is pretty much shot right now in comparison to what Nerchio has going on. So he's really got to do some economic damage with this. We got a few more roaches and a few more speedlings coming out. whynoT with his few forces wasn't able to get those force fields off before those lings got up, able to do a little bit of extra damage to the sentry. Drones moving out the backside. Here's a full surround. Roaches come from that angle. Some more mutas coming up from up top. We have 10 more speedlings coming on through. whynoT doing a lot of damage. He works through the forces. 16 lings about to come out. whynoT still has quite a few forces. No more counter aggression going on from Nerchio. Not doing any counter aggressive movement at the moment. He's too busy trying to defend himself. whynoT still hasn't done any economic damage though. Really disappointed that he didn't hit this expansion, although he did kill a lot of drones, as Nerchio was forced to pull down with a ton of his workers to try to prevent that and get us around from the backside. And Nerchio says, "You are so bad," and leaves the game. whynoT, with some very glaring mistakes and errors in this game, still able to pull out the victory. And that's going to conclude game number 1. whynoT making some pretty massive mistakes this game and taking a lot of damage from a small group of early speedlings as well as counter muta harass as he was pushing out with his force, was still able to, with some force field walls and just nice positioning of his units, actually prevent Nerchio from killing off his attacking force and eventually lead to the victory. Really unbelievable turn of events. Was not expecting whynoT to win this game, but managed to pull it off. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Stay tuned for game number 2 coming up in just one moment. Thanks again guys. Keep watching and keep owning.